Welcome in, jollyrogerukulele.com. That's the place where you're going to go to get your sheet music. I am going to go there right now and post the link to our meeting here. Copy and close, and then I'm going to go to the webpage, jollyrogerukulele.com. I'm going to post it in the spot where it goes. Paste, shift, link, edit, settings, open a new window, update. Let's make sure it works properly. On jollyrogerukulele.com. We post all the sheet music. We're doing all Christmas music now for the next 34 weeks. And already, I didn't put any. Well, I posted 3 new ones for the week. You have over 20 tunes sitting there, all public domain, all ready to rock out on. And so that's what we'll be doing today. Did I tweet? I need to tweet. We always have to tweet now. https://jolly Roger I know how to spell ukulele.com. Pops up on the little sign there. Tweet. There, we've tweeted. What's weird is all day today, not all day, twice today, I've been playing Hark the Herald with the baritone players and the first level and the newer ukulele players. And there's a thing out there called the Hark bot, and the Hark bot repeats anything that says the word hark in it. And I think if I'm going to write a bot to repeat a phrase, hark isn't the first phrase that's going to come to mind. I might do a ukulele bot, or I might do a kombucha bot, a hark bot. I don't know. Let's see. Linda, welcome in. You made it back. Linda sent me a lovely email over the weekend. Lanny is back in. Lanny's coming down on Saturday. We're going to change strings on his ukulele. And Lynn has made it in. Cry. So I know so much music you could cry, right? A lot of times, if you think about what we're doing here, if you didn't and love it, it would make you cry. So yeah, Lynn was having a massive rain out there in New Jersey, which those of us in the Western United States, we think, oh, I like rain. And then you go to see rain, how it rains in the East Coast, and you're like, I do not like rain. Rain makes me scared and sad. Jerry's in. Hey, Jerry. Jerry, I restrung her banjo lately, of all things, last week. How's it playing, Jerry? Jack is in. Jack and Barbara. Jack's been taking some other classes from me. Barbara's like, I can stand in for ukulele, and after that, I got to get out. So I agree. I totally agree. Renee is in. She's in from Nuevo Mexico. She moved down there a little while. She used to live up here. Now she lives down there. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right, Renee? Vic is in from cloudy Eugene. I like to tease her about Eugene because I was up there. My relatives live up there, so I like to tease them about living in Eugene. So Vic has to take the brunt for the fact that they moved there. Yeah, Jerry's saying her banjo makes beautiful holiday music. It's a little bit like a jackhammer making music, you know. Banjos are not well known for their melodic, beautiful holiday cheer. They're sort of known for making you want to die a little bit like harmonica. I teach harmonica as well, and sometimes the sounds that come out of that, I'm like, what in the heck? How? I'm blowing through this one hole, and this horrid sound is coming out, and I can't get it to stop. And so, yeah, so that banjo lady, harmonica, you know. Let's see, who else wandered in here? Oh, Red is here. She missed me. Isn't that sweet? She didn't miss me at all. Right? Basically what she says is, that guy, stuck with him. I missed you too, Christine. Hopefully all of you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I got fat over Thanksgiving. I was getting pretty close to looking like George Clooney, and then we had Thanksgiving, and now I don't look like George Clooney anymore. So he was on was it Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning. He looks better than he used to. It's not even right. I don't understand how that's works. And he's sold his soul to the devil. Has to be it. Then he's so nice and he's lovely and he's taking care of the twins and he lives in Lake Como, which is not really like I do. I live it kind of is like Lake Como here, only there's no lake and it's not Italy, and people are mean here. They're kind of nice. No, most people in Denver are pretty nice, really. Most, until you get on their highway, and then they turn into maniacs. Let's see. Well, who else wandered in here? Barbara, happy Thanksgiving. Happy end of Thanksgiving to you. Rita, welcome in from Illinois. Our Illinois crew comes rolling in. I worry about the weather in Illinois. I'm glad you're here. Diane, good to see you. Diane has a baritone with that sounds amazing now, so I'm glad she's got that. Cindy, do you know about a Christmas tune called the Wexford Carol? It doesn't sound entirely foreign to me, but no melody immediately comes to mind when I see the word. I do think there's something called the Wexford Carol out there. If you will toss me an email about it, I got 8 million Christmas music books. I'll look and see if I can find a little bit of a tune to it and decide if it might be something we want to try. It does seem vaguely familiar to me, but I don't think I know the tune off the top of my head. So yes, Cindy, I'm game to look it up. Yeah, CBS Sunday morning. That's when it was. Yeah. So anyway, George Clooney is doing better than us, and I'm delighted that we are bringing him back for the tuning. Make sure everybody you teach ukulele, George Clooney eats apples. Don't do the goats can eat anything one, because it doesn't have the cachet that George has. And we're going to bring George back. We're going to make sure he stays famous. He will. Let's see. Marianne is in from Michigan. A little bit of snow on the ground up there. Good, right? It should be snowing up there about this time of year, right, Marianne? Sandy's in from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and Kari is in. First batch of Christmas cookies coming. Oh, nice. I know it's going to be cookie time. See, I'm going to go on a diet, but right after the Christmas cookies, I think. Let's see. Yeah, let me know about that. I think I have heard of it. I don't think I know it, though. Lindy, welcome in. Good afternoon. Yeah, what kind of cookies, Kari? Jacqueline, hey Jacqueline, good to see you. She's a local. All right, kids. So let me give you a little rundown of where I'm at, and let me remind you, there's the orchestra meets tonight. All you guys should be members of the website. I keep forgetting to talk about this in all my other classes, but we're doing the modern Christmas music on Monday nights, and you do have to be a subscriber. It's our subscriber benefit for being a member, being a paying member of the website. So if you are not, go check out that subscribe link. Go check out the PayPal arrangement. It's not ideal. I hate it, and you hate it, and everybody hates the whole scenario. But it's the least amount of technology I could put between those of you who are supporting the website, supporting me, and having something special just for you. And you guys are getting the modern Christmas carols. I have not posted anything from the previous week. I got all this stuff done in the computer. I just got to finish the post-processing. And I do intend, once we get done with this class, to sit down and get as much of that posted as I can. It's good stuff on there. And so I'd love to have you guys come join me tonight and play a little, just, a holiday jam. It does have a tendency to be a little bit of a finicky thing. You got to follow the steps exactly, and you got to be on it, right? Otherwise I have to get involved and fix things. And so, how can I get a list of what's being played tonight? Well, it's on the member page, and so just go there. I've got all of the songs that I'm going to get up eventually. Not all of them are done, but a bunch of them should be posted tonight. I won't have them posted until about an hour before class time, so no sense in rushing over there quite yet, Jerry. Kari, Lisa Augen, from my mother-in-law's secret recipe. that every cook in Austria knows. We had a woman from Austria join us in the last hour. It was I couldn't even tell you how excited I am about that. Um, Brigitte joining us in from nearby Salzburg. So, and I said, "Well, how is ukulele popular in Austria?" And she says, "No." so so we got some work to get Austrians involved with ukulele. We'll eat their cookies and we'll teach them ukulele. How about that? That sounds like a fair deal. Judy's in from the mountains up here to the west of me. The member page just has a slew of music. Oh, it's at the top of the page, Jerry. Yeah, at the very top of the page, the orchestra stuff's on the top of that. Yeah, that slew of music at the very top of the page is what we're working on. LG, sunny and windy in Vancouver, not raining for a change, sun shining expected for. Isn't it funny? I think in my mind, if it's raining in and cloudy in Eugene, it should be rainy and cloudy in British Columbia. That's just all the same to me. Glad you're having a good day up there. Let's see. Elizabeth, welcome in. Evans, Colorado. All right. I've got some people in. All right. Yeah. Kari. Yeah. Kari goes to Germany all the time. She speaks German. Her husband taught German for 40 years. You got to fix Austria. We have to fix Austria, peeps. Get that going. All right. So here's the review very quickly. I'm talking too much. Sorry, guys. No, I'm not sorry. I just do what I do. You are up to 21 public domain tunes on the front page. We're going to be playing through those we're just going to play every day from that list. And so there's no point in being specific about Monday through Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You guys are at a level where you're just playing the music. Okay. And whatever that means for you. Some of you that's chords and singing. Some of you that's playing the melody. Some of you that's playing tough uke. Some of you are working on painful uke. Some of you are working up your own Christmas concert, and it's going to be with your family on Facebook or with tens of thousands of people on Facebook, whatever. You've got plenty of music just on the front page here, wide open for all of you to use whenever you want. There's 20, I just counted 21 tunes on here. By the time Christmas gets here, it will probably be up to 35, 40 tunes. So you're going to have a ton of music. Go through and just download everything. Make sure it's in your book. I will try to remember to post new at the beginning of the week of the songs that are new, and then we'll do them first, obviously, and then we will continue working through the rest of the tunes. So I'd like to start today with, I want to start with Adeste Fidelis as sort of a warm-up, and then I want to play the two Angels songs. So let's go into Adeste Fidelis as our morning warm-up, and we played this last week, and I don't think I have anything else to say about it. We're going to play down through measure 24, and then we come back to play from measure 5, and we play down through the end, skipping 24 the last time through. So let's use that as our warm-up. That'll get you in the holiday spirit. It's the day after Thanksgiving. You're officially required to know your holiday music at this point, no matter what tradition you're from, because we're musicians and this is what we do in December. So here we go. From the top, Adeste Fidelis, 4-beat count in, play it as written. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's a nice way to start the day. Let's see who else wandered in here. Laurel, happy December Eve. Always put a Christmas tree on there. Very nice. Patricia, welcome in. Evelyn, glad to see you. Vicky, happy December to you. So here we go. Let's talk about the new song, Angels from the Realms of Glory. I did two angel songs for us, mostly because they're at the top of the list. LMNO, Angels from the Realms of Glory. Um, these older tunes, sort of old church tunes, we will have a tendency to find they're actually quite playable. They sound lovely on the ukulele, and we don't have to kill ourselves necessarily with all these crazy chords that we often have to do in more modern music. And so if your goal is just to get smooth and be playing better and just kind of getting comfortable with it, these are the kinds of songs you want to do it with. And then obviously at some point you're like, yeah, I get this. I'm playing pretty well. Now throw the hard stuff at me. And when I love when I say that, because what you're playing here is super hard for 90% of the ukulele players worldwide. And you guys are like, yeah, this is where I'm at, kind of thing. Like, that's not a big deal anymore. And so that should make you feel pretty good. Angels from the Realms of Glory is our favorite chords, right? You got C chords, F chords, G chords, A minor. Okay. Weird thing is, measure 8, there's a D chord in there. I don't know what it's doing there. It should be a D minor, but it's just plain as day, a nice D chord in there. And that's the only one that doesn't fit. So when you're studying a piece of music and you see a chord that doesn't belong, you got to know that's going to be a moment in the song that's kind of a big deal. He who sang creation story now proclaim Messiah's birth, right? So it's going to be this big Messiah's birth, right? It's going to be this moment, this sort of high drama when you see a chord that doesn't typically belong in that key. And so just be keeping an eye out for that. And then the melody here, most of you will probably know, but let's play through the melody real quick. It's only 12 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to play it again and get a little cleaner from the top. Go. Okay. So, one of the things I talk about a lot is you don't need to know how to read standard notation. Tablature is fine. However, if you don't necessarily know the tune, and I noticed what I was doing was frequently checking up to see whether I'm on a quarter note, an eighth note, a dotted quarter note, to figure out how long these notes are. This isn't a song that I spend a ton of time thinking about or working on, but I put it in this key so it's relatively easy to play. And all of a sudden, well, now I got to make sure I get the note lengths correct. And so I'm constantly double checking up there with the standard notation. All right, 4 quarter notes. Okay, I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, then I got a dotted eighth, a dotted quarter note. Oh, I got to make that one longer. It's almost always followed. Whenever you have a dotted note, it's almost always followed by a buddy to help it even out the count. And so if you're looking at measure 2, quarter note, with a dot is followed by an eighth note, and all of a sudden there's your two beats, right? So realms of glory. Okay, and so there's that. So I'm constantly double checking against the standard notation to make sure I'm getting my timing right. And by make sure, it means I'm wishing my timing was right mostly. Okay. All right, so let's give this one a try. Take your time, play a nice little bunk, blunk. If you're new, right? No, I'm sorry. If you're old, if you're around a while, not old, if you're young and spry and you've been around me a little while, you're thinking claw, right? If you're newer, thumbs coming down. Okay, here we go. From the top, let's just walk through it. There's nothing really to talk about overly much here on the tough uke. What we do want to do is make sure that because this goes all the way up here into this area, that you're being mindful that your melody note, you are going to have to peek down and make sure your pinky or your ring finger, whatever you're using to play melody with, is on the right notes. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, sorry. And then go back and sing it again the second time. Look at where I got in the mess. I got the mess exactly where you would expect me to, right? Measure 11, you got that A minor at the very last note of that measure. And then you've got to get to a G chord and get your pinky on to get 0, 2, 3, 3. And you're like, boy, that's a kind of a sophisticated sound for such an old-fashioned tune, right? Well, it resolves itself. That C chord underneath the G chord is a bit of a surprise. And most of the time now in music, where you're going to end up working, C chord you got, right? You don't have to work on that. Now, G chord, you got that. F chord, no problem. A G chord with a C on the top, you may have to think about a little bit. You're like, what? That's not what we usually do. And so you take a moment to study that section. So, boy, we got all kinds of things going on over here. Let's see, much better the second time through. Okay, getting better. Molly, first time, Molly. Molly from Breckenridge. How exciting. Molly, welcome. I'm delighted you're here. Those of you who don't know, I'm in Colorado. I live in Denver. Denver's the big city. It's a mixed blessing living here. And then basically what happens is on the weekends, because you can't do anything in town, everybody's been getting in the car and going up to the mountains. So the mountains are just crushed with people these days. One of the most beautiful places in my mind in the planet, not in the planet maybe, but certainly in Colorado. Breckenridge is just an awesome place. And they've been doing a lot more with ukulele up in that neighborhood up there. Delighted to have you, Molly. So glad you're here. Lynn has already welcomed you in. Molly, we're glad you finally made it. What the heck? Where you been? All right. Kari, when playing the tough uke, I find sometimes I skip a chord or so to keep the melodic sound. I guess that means I'm still thudding on some chords. So let's talk about that, because that does come up a lot. Vicky says she likes this one. Good cat. Beautiful. Dan, never heard this in concert. See, that's the thing. You hang out with me, I'm going to bringing you songs from 1816, right? And you're going to be like, I don't think I like songs from 1816. And then you're thinking, but wait, I'm going to be giving a Christmas concert, and I know nobody's ever heard that song. I'm going to turn it into something, right? Digging deep. Let's talk about what Kari's talking about. Sometimes I clonk, sometimes I skip a chord, sometimes I add a chord. Remember, when you're playing tough uke, I sort of have a way of arranging things that I know is going to work every single time. And so it's not exactly vanilla, but it's not exactly, I'm not really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with arranging. I'd save that for myself, right? I want that to be my thing. But for what I want is for you guys to be able to get where you're like, yep, I get it. I make my ukulele sound beautiful. And along with that, the most important thing that I can possibly impart on you is that this is not an instrument we treat like piano at a piano recital in Russia, right? If you're playing a piano at a piano recital in Russia and you're going to play Beethoven's Opus 110, you better play it exactly like it's written on the paper. You better not be creative at all, right? This is not that instrument. This instrument is meant to be experimented with, to be pushed to the limits, find what you can do, and then push that a little bit, find out like places that are easier and harder. So Kari's thought here and what she's saying is, and I'll just use the first measure as an example. What's written is, okay, but you don't really have to do that. You could just play and drop that second chord. Sometimes that cleans it up. Sometimes it makes it sound too thin, but at least you've made that decision. The other possibility that you can do is chord everything. And I do that an awful lot on especially these old-fashioned churchy tunes. Remember, I don't know how many of you went to church, but back in my day, I went to the scary church, right? Then they would tell us we were going to hell, and we are. But when you look through that sheet music, almost every single note has a chord underneath it because it's meant to be played either by an organist or the church pianist who put a chord on everything, and then the congregation is supposed to be singing out over all of the chords. And so you could arrange just that first measure, just plain old C chord, in lots of ways. The melody is, okay, that's a decent melody, right? And so be thinking about, do I want to do what Gary wrote? Do I want to make it a little less chordy? Do I want to make it more chordy? All of those are legitimate musical choices, and you as the musician get to make that decision. And then, of course, if you are playing where like, oh well, I'm gonna really dominate this song, you're thinking about turning every eighth note into something. Okay, now I'm putting in an open C note in between all of the notes that are written there. So again, as you're taking in a piece of sheet music, if you're playing the bassoon in the Berlin Philharmonic and you're getting ready to play Beethoven, you're going to do exactly what's on the paper. You're not going to express any level of creativity. You're going to take every single one of those notes and you're going to turn those notes into this meaningful, beautiful moment in the song. That's the level of where your creativity is. With ukulele, we do the exact opposite of that. Here's what the paper says. That's a pretty good idea. I'll do some of that. Okay. And so really, really, really let yourself be fine with, hey, another thing that I do is if I see a really nasty chord coming up, I'll have a tendency to pluck the melody and move right along. Don't lose a lot of sleep over it. However, obviously, those really nasty chords are the cool ones, and those are the ones you want to try to get. So let's see. Molly is in, just figuring out the format. Yeah, the website's a little overwhelming. It started off as nothing in March, and now the website's like, what the heck, man? This is a lot of reading. So glad you're here, Molly. Let's see. We have lots of fun making fun of Gary. All right, let's play it one more time. Do everything that you feel like you want to on this song from the top. 1, 2, ready, play. So didn't quite get anything, didn't quite get it what I wanted, but I got pretty close. Okay. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to make some notations about around measure 12 because that's why I blew that. I also blew the rhythm at the end of 7 going into 8 pretty consistently. So that's another area I'm going to mark on my sheet music and be hopefully as the more I play it, the less I mess that up. But again, and exactly what Kari's saying, hey, sometimes I drop a chord, play just straight through melody. Maybe that's because I'm going to be clunky, but that's fine, right? Do you, right? We are not yet anyway at playing at the same level as the New York Philharmonic, but we're going to catch them. Okay. And the difference is we're just going to be hanging out, having fun, and they're going to be all stressed out because they've been playing violin since they were 4 and they're not any fun anymore. Okay, there we go. So we'll jab at it. Let's do the other Angel song, Angels We Have Heard on High. Now, most of you, this is a little bit more familiar for most of you guys. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain. Oh, I'm going to sing. All right, so get ready, close your ears. Let's run through the chords. This is a perfect one for us to maybe talk about the circle of fifths again. Okay? So from the top, grab your chords. Down at measure 9, you have an E7 on beat 3. That's a little scary. Other than that, you're basically all these chords are basic type chords. So I'm going to sing. You guys know it's never good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strain. Gloria in excelsis Deo. How many did you get? How many did you get? Measure 13. Be honest. Did you get G, D, G, C, G? It's 5 chords, 5 notes. That's the key. Did you get them all? Bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's a lot, right? They're all easier chords, but they are definitely show up, turn the page, and you're like, I got to get all these chords in. And so it's an easy spot to blow, right? Let's do it one more time. Let's see if you can get them all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain, and the mountains in reply, echoing this joyous strain. Gloria. And we would repeat the song, right? Really fun to try to get them all. Okay. And so C, G, D, G, C, G, D, and then go back. Okay. So a lot of fun chords there. By the way, I like to talk about it. I know it drives some of you nuts. You're like, I don't know what that circle thing is. We are playing in the key of G on this song, right? So if I roll that around to the thingamabopper, the key to the right is D. That's its important best friend. And the key to the left, or the chord to the left, is C. So if you're in the key of G, which we know we are because we're starting on G, there's one sharp for those of you who have prior knowledge. G and D, you've got a whole bunch of G's and D's right off the bat. G's and G's, G's and G's and G's and G's. And then look what happens. We've got an E7 hanging out there at the middle of measure 9, which is way over here. This is the E chord, but we're using it as a 7th. So it's not even in, it's 2 chords away. Like it's pretty far away. So that's why that moment is crazy. Glory. Okay. And then it starts making its way back. We got an A minor, got a D, got a G, got a C, got a D. So we're hanging out there. The chord that stands out, measure 9, right in the middle, that E7, that chord does not belong in this song. And that's why there's all this tension when you play. And you're like, oh my gosh. Okay. So if you decided I don't like singing this in the key of G, I need it higher or lower, I got to start messing around with the key. You could roll this around. Let's try it in C. Now, all of your G's become C's, all of your D's become G's, and so on. And so if I wanted to play this in another key, I would be taking, all right, instead of G's and D's, what about C's and G's? Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain. Well, for my voice, automatically that feels a little bit better. But you have to be thoughtful about this. If you're a singer and you're trying to find your best key, you want to be very familiar with the circle of fifths. If you are not a singer, you could care less about that. But as an arranger for ukulele, when you're thinking instrumentally, some songs are going to behave better than others in certain keys. This song, if you'll notice, the melody is for the most part hanging out on string number 1. That's ideal because that means the rest of those strings can be used as chord support for the melody. The other thing that happens, however, when you put everything on the first string is sometimes you end up way down here on accident, and that's not ideal either. And so in our orchestra, we've had people turn in songs that they want the orchestra to try, and they'll have a note on the 15th fret. Well, nobody needs that note. That note doesn't need to happen. And so I asked them, hey, we got to go back. We got to look at the key. Are you in the wrong key that pushes the melody way up there? Are we thinking about if the melody is going to go way up there, maybe at some point we need to drop the parts of the melody an octave to get it back down here into a rational playing area. And so this song was very cooperative, but not all songs are. Okay. All right. So there's your chord discussion of chords. I'd like to run through and play. What's going on here? Oh, we're still celebrating Molly. Welcome in, Molly. Let's see. Enjoy Molly. It's fun. LG 3/5. I don't know what that means. Got them all. Oh, you got 3 out of 5. 5 out of 5. All right. All right. Too fast. Okay. Good. Making you guys work it. Okay. Right now, none of you listen to a word because you're busy trying to get those 5 chords. Let's play the melody. Okay. Let's show you what mostly on the first string does, and occasionally we're going to drop on the second string. Try to avoid notes on the third string, but sometimes they show up. Down at measure 12, and you're going to see a melody show up all the way on the third string. From the top, just the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sound cool? Okay, and then you would repeat, obviously. I try, like I'm not a huge fan of notes on the third, melody notes on the third strings, but sometimes you have to. We only have an octave and a half of usable notes on a high G ukulele, and so we often are squishing stuff in and making decisions about the best key and the best place to place your melody on the fretboard because of that. We'll mention briefly when you go the second time through and you jump to measure 15, it's A, right? The dum-dum at the end. So just make sure that 8th note shows up in your playing. Right, there's your melody. Let's go grab the tough uke. Let's walk our way through it, and then we'll play it a couple times. From the top, G chord, grab those. Play that 3 times. Pinky on 5. Leave the pinky on 5. Switch this to a bar chord. Pry your middle finger to grab the 3, and then go back to your G chord. Okay, if you're playing tough uke or you're playing painful uke, that's a great chance to put in a D note or a G note in there. Okay, and then measure 3. Lift up your middle finger to get to 0. Put it back down. Pinky up on 5. Bar on 2. Isn't that cool? That's a cool sound. O, and then 0, 2, 3. Partial G chord. Okay, do that whole thing again. When you hit that 2, 2, 2, 2 under the D chord in measure 8 and measure 4, give that a lot of love. Okay, we work on this bar all of the time on purpose. When you see that, we want it to be perfect. Okay, getting things perfect in music is not a real thing, but we'd sure like that moment to be really beautiful. just because it's weird. It's the wrong note on the top, and so when you see that, you're like, oh, I want this to be good, right? Okay, measure 9. Let's play that. G chord with your pinky. Again, if you're struggling with getting that pinky up there, work on it. Okay, this is something that's going to come up every day playing ukulele. G chord with your pinky on 5. Okay, and then you've got a real E chord here, which most ukulele players are going to avoid like the plague. You guys, as instrumentalists, you're like, oh, it's just another bar chord. Bar on, pinky on 7, bar on 4. Okay, so from a melodic standpoint, that's just an E chord, right? Even though from a singing standpoint, we're going to strum an E7, but now we have 4 4 4 7. That's a real E chord. We're going to switch that out for 5. Now it is an E7. And then we go 3 2. Okay. A minor with a 3. Let it ring. D chord, pinky on 5. 3 2 0. G7. I'm regular G, sorry. And then C chord. Nice big D chord here. I love that. I don't know why. Okay, those 2 D notes, bum bum. Okay, and then go into your G chord. Here's where it gets challenging again for tough ukers. G, D, G, C, G chord, G, D, and then you're going to go back and play it again. If you're coming through the second time at measure 15, G, D7 gives a little bit more tension to finish up the song, and then hit the 3. G chord, and then our famous bar on 7, pinky on 10. Okay, that's how we're going to finish it up. All right, again, know your level, don't know your level, pretend you're working at the next level. Play melody, that's what's important. If you're working on chords, good for you. And then, of course, tough uke is what I want you to be able to do. If you are solid in your tough uke, you are also thinking about what other decorative notes, how do I approach this song to make it mine? When Shimabukuro decided, I'm going to play While My Guitar Gently Weeps, he did not think, I'm going to play While My Guitar Gently Weeps like the Beatles played it. That's not what he thought. He thought, I kind of like that song. Wonder how complicated and weird I can make it. That's what he thinks, okay? That's where you want to be as well, okay? We start by getting good at playing what's on the page. Then we start messing around with it, okay? From the top, nice and slow. 2 times through. Well, not 2 times through, really, right? The second time, you're going to go back to measure 9, not to the top. You've got that marked with a yellow highlighter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I blew the repeat, right? I grabbed an F instead of an E. Happens, right? Don't lose too much sleep over it, right? You got to move on. If you blow a note, you blow a measure, whatever, get on to the next measure. It's going to happen. All right, Angels We Have Heard on High. I like that song. I don't know why. All right. 1862. Nice. All right, let's go on to then something a little bit more. Let's come on to one of these modern songs like Deck the Halls. Go grab Deck the Halls. That's our other newbie for the week. One of our other newbies. Deck the Halls. C, D, Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls. Yeah. Oh, it is 1862-ish as well. Anytime you see ish, you're like, nobody knows where this song came from. All right. Well, Wikipedia. I always find out from Wikipedia where stuff comes from. Take a look. First thing you look through is your chords. You got Fs, you got G minors, you got Fs, you got G minors, you got Fs, you got G minors, and a C chord. Home run, right? So your main chord is F, and its friend C is always going to show up, almost always, okay? And the only other note is G minor. And here's what's crazy about that. You're using your 5-finger pattern. If you're playing in the key of F, F, G, A, B, C, right? So these are your expected chords when you're playing in F is B, B flat in this case, so B flat and C. Those are the chords you'd expect in here. And sure enough, you got Fs and you got Cs, no B flats. What? Where's the B flats? There's always a B flat. There's no B flat. Instead, rather than using this one, the writer decided I'm going to use the G minor that's hanging out here, which is going to give this a whole different complexity, a much more fascinating chord structure because he's using 1, 2, and 5. Now, those of you who've had a little prior music experience, you will remember your jaunt through 2 minor, what is it? 2 minor, 5 major 7th, and major 7th, minor 2, 7th, and 5/7. That's a jazz progression, right? Way before they were thinking about jazz, you got a jazz progression here, oddly enough. Weird. Okay. Chords. Let's play those real quick. Okay. You know your 3. 1, 2, ready, go. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. La 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. La la la. Don we now are gay apparel, fa la la, fa la la, la la la. Told the ancient old time carols, fa la 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 la, la la la. Okay, so the chords work. Most of the modern arrangements of this do a little bit more complexity with the chords. You don't need to. It's fine. You know, make your voice the star and use these basic chords. That would be my thought as a non-singer. Next, melody. Let's play the melody. Lots of 3s, lots of 1s. I'm thinking, well, probably going to be playing in first position all the way down until I get into the fa la la's down at 11. And then look, I got to go from 0 to 8 on a regular basis down there. I'm going to be all over the place. So that's a time when you might be thinking about, I probably just better memorize the pattern for this one little section. Otherwise, I'm going to be struggling to get my notes on correctly, and also be thinking on your fa la la's, when you see 5, boy, I would jump up into 5th position for sure to pull that off. Okay, let's play it. Just the melody. Just one time through. 1, 2, ready, play. Sorry, there's a little run there. I was like, what the heck is that? Go on. Okay. So the only thing I messed up, which is probably a pretty bad mess up, you're coming in down from 7, 5, 3, 1, 0, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, ba la 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 da dun da da dun da. Right. So it's musical. All right, it's being fancy. Okay, we're almost out of time, so we are out of time. Let's play the tough uke real quick. Okay, tomorrow several things. One, we will start with a Deste Fidelis, and we're going to start working our way through that 21 song progression. Over the week, I'll be adding in some more songs into there, but we're just going to be playing through this entire group over and over and over so that you end up with your favorite songs that you are really good at, so that by the time you end up closer to Christmas, ready for your solo debut as a ukulele instrumentalist, you will have plenty of an opportunity to have plenty of songs that you can make for them. Vicky says, another keeper, Elizabeth, my high G sounds great on these carols. I don't know why. Who I think it was Sandy says, I hate G minor. I think Sandy's incorrect. I love it. Okay. All right. Let's play through it. Just straight out. Do what you can with it. It's not the hardest tough uke we've ever had. So probably you'll be able to pull it off mostly. From the top, 1, 2, ready, play. Second ending. I did the opposite. Usually we go up to the high note. This time I went to the high note and then the low note, right? Trying to make it fancy for you. All right, there's another arrangement. That's enough for the week for today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Molly, thanks for joining us. If you're still hanging out, Molly's probably like, no, click. Who knows? But delighted Molly made it in, and we're spreading the love to Austria today. We're spreading the love to Breckenridge, and obviously if you are newer and you're hanging out and you're like, I don't know what's going on here, just let us know where you're from. So when you log in, tell us where you're from and what the weather is like. That's what we like to know. Trying to create world domination with ukulele, and you're the people who are going to make. You're the generals out in the. We have no pawns, right? We have no foot soldiers. It's just you, the general, and your ukulele, and you're going out spreading the love of this instrument, and the fact that you don't really need. You need a little bit of knowledge, but for the most part, this is something you can just jump in and love playing in. And so try to do a random act of kindness for somebody today. Try to be safe. That's the harder and harder these days. Practice a little bit if you can. Keep showing up. That's the secret. I promise that's the secret to making you a ukulele player. And subscribe and like if you haven't done that. Come tonight to our the website, and you can come listen in on the concert, even if you decide, I don't know if I want to be a member or not. You should be, because it's cheap and you get good stuff. But you can come and at least work through some of the music with us, and I will see lots of you guys tonight, and then tomorrow we'll just do it all over again. We're going to play tons and tons of Christmas music, and by the time Christmas rolls around, you will be sick of it. All right, so let's see, and spreading the love. North of if you're from north of Colfax, we got to talk because something's wrong, right? You're thinking all crazy. Good to have you, Terry. Patricia, glad to see you. Good, Molly, right? Renee, all right, peace. Yeah, I know, right? Renee, jeez. Evelyn, thanks again for being here. Lindy, see you soon. Jennifer, thanks so much. Oh, the way. It shouldn't be news that the weather is frightful in Chicago, right? It's news when it's not frightful. Glad you're here, Jennifer. So glad you're doing well. Lynn, see you tomorrow. Hope the rain stops. Lindy, good to see you tonight. Absolutely. Linda, she's in Maui. It's 84. I don't know. It's perfect every day in Hawaii. Why don't we all live there? Nuts. Lanny, good to see you, bud. See you tonight. Kat, thanks for being here. See you tonight. Yeah, we're going to get it done. I got to go post a bunch of music for it. Jacqueline, good to see you. So nice. Yeah, it is. These are nice songs, you guys. Let's play them. Vicky up in Bozeman. We'll see you soon. And Elizabeth, you bet. Oh, yeah, and you got the high G out over the low G, huh? That's always a question, right? Should I play low G or high G today? I think high G. I think if you have a question, default to high G. But play plenty of low G too. All right, guys, pulling the plug. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.